Hi kids, I'm back. So for science this week, we're going to be talking about different forms of energy. And there are three types of energy. So we have heat, light, and sound. Today we're only really going to be talking about light and heat. So I have a couple different things I want to show you, and then you're actually going to go on a scavenger hunt. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So first I want us to look at what is light. So light is energy that travels in a ray. Light bounces off things and goes in our eyes. This is how we see things. You can see things that give off their own light too. So that's what light is. Some different sources of light. There's a couple different, light can come from a couple different things. So we know it comes from the sun, some candles, some TV. So be thinking about things in your house that produce or make light. So now let's look a little bit about heat. So something that is hot, like a hot drink, feels very different than something that's cold, like ice cream. So what is heat? Here we go. Heat is a form of energy, which we talked about. It comes from the movement of atoms and molecules, which are the smallest particles that make up all matter. So even in our bodies, we have tiny little atoms and molecules, and when they move, the faster they move, the more heat our body produces. So some examples of things that produce heat are like the heat from a fire. Your stove produces heat when you're cooking food. So just be thinking about different things that produce heat. Now we're going to talk about your scavenger hunt. So you're going to need a sheet of paper to record what you find on your hunt. So remember, first things first, it's always the same. I pick up my pencil and I write my name. And don't forget to add the date. Today for Miss Henderson is April. So uppercase A because it's the name of the month. 20th, 2020. And I'm going to create a T-chart to help me keep track of everything. We've made T-charts before. We're going to make a big uppercase T. So I'm going to go from here. This is a really big, and I'm doing my paper long ways. If you notice, I'm not doing it tall, I'm doing it long. Big line down. So I made a big uppercase T. On this side of the T, I'm going to write the sentence, and I'm going to count my words. Ready? These items produce light. So how many words is that? 4. Okay, so I need 4 lines. 1, finger space, 2, and I want to stay on this side of my chart. 3, 4. What goes it in? Period. So these, ready? Let's sound it out. That's 2 letters. The T, H, E. These items. You can sound that out. Items. I, T, E, E, M. Produce. Produce is another word for make. It means to make. So produce. That's a long one. P, R, O, D, U. Produce. And it's okay if it's not spelled correctly. Remember, I can sound that out. These items produce light. Ooh, I, and I know how to spell it because we saw on that website. So it's a G-H-T, light. On this side of my T-chart, I'm going to put the sentence, these items produce heat. So 4 again. So 1, finger space, 2, 3, and 4. These, I already did it over here so I can copy it. Uppercase T. These items, I can copy that again. Produce. Produce. We're going to say heat this time. E. Period. Okay. Now you get to go on a scavenger hunt. So take your paper, take your pencil, crayon, whatever you're using, and I want you to walk around the house and have an adult help your older brother or sister and find things that produce light and find things that produce heat. So I already went on my scavenger hunt. I'm going to show you what I found. So one thing I found is, I'm going to make it bigger so you can see it really good. So this is in our hallway. It's a little night light, so when you're walking in the hall, it nighttime, you don't trip on anything and you can see where you're walking. So this, I want you to think, does it produce light or heat? Light. So I'm going to draw a picture of that on my light side. So that was one thing I found. Then I was in the bathroom and I found, and I bet a lot of your moms probably have this, I found a hair dryer. So when I get out of the shower, I can blow dry my hair. Now this, does it produce light? No. What does it produce? Heat. It gets very hot. And remember, when things produce heat, you don't want to be touching them. You can put your hand close, you can feel the heat, but I don't ever touch this because I don't want to burn my hand. So this hair dryer, I'm going to draw on my heat side. I'm going to show you something else. I found, I had to be very careful with this. Very, very careful. What did I find? Good, a light bulb. So does this produce, it kind of says in the name, does this produce light or heat? Good, light bulb. So I'm going to draw this on this side where it says these items produce light. I also found, again, your moms might have one of these and you might know something. This is called a straightener. And women use it to straighten their hair, and it gets very, very hot. So again, I never touch it where it gets hot. This is a straightener, so I can draw this on the side of things that produce heat. I have one more thing I found. And this is Officer Henderson's. This is his flashlight that he uses when he's at work. It's really small, but it's really, really bright, so I can turn it on, and I can see that it produces light. So Officer Henderson's flashlight, I can draw on the side where I said these items produce light. So let me go back to my paper. Here we go. Oops. Right. So on the light side, do you remember what I found around my house? Good. I found three things. I found a light bulb. I'm going to draw the best I can. I'm going to put little like rays coming off, like it's producing light. I found Officer Henderson's flashlight. And again, it produces light, so I like to draw these little lines to show that it's making light. And I found, what else did I find that makes light? I found the, oh, I forgot to tell you one. Oh, no, I got it right here. My nightlight. Okay, my nightlight. Now this one's a little harder to draw. I'll do the best I can. It has these lines going across the top, a little sensor, and then this is the plug up the back. And then I'm going to label them. So this was our, let's write flashlight. Sh. That sh is two letters, right? That's an S and an H. Flash, light. Ooh, running out of room. Light. Flashlight. I'm going to label my light bulb. I'm going to label my night light. And over here, I'm going to tell you one. The items that produce heat, remember I said the hair dryer and the straightener. There was one other thing, but it was too big. I couldn't bring it upstairs. It was the microwave. I couldn't bring it upstairs, but I can draw a microwave because that does produce heat. That's how I cook a lot of food, is in the microwave. It has these little buttons on this, a handle. It has these little buttons up here, so I can label that microwave. M-I-C-R-K. Microwave. And then I'm going to draw and label my hair dryer and my straightener. So what I want you to do for your science work this week, get a sheet of paper and you're going to go on a scavenger hunt. Try to find as many things as you can, at least 3 things that produce light and at least 3 things that produce heat. But if you can find more, that's awesome. And don't forget to write your sentences. Let's read them one more time. These items produce light. These items produce heat. And then make sure you label the items too so I know what they are. So have fun on your scavenger hunt. Send me what you find or a piece of paper so I know you did your work. I'll talk to you later. Bye guys.